Weapon arts give weapons a little extra, whether it be an additional way to deal damage, buff yourself, or give you other ways to dodge. Well, weapon arts weren't added for a couple years in the release of Dark Souls 3, but still, in Dark Souls 1, some weapons have unique movesets, unique to that weapon only. Ricard's Rapier is one of those weapons. By pressing R2, you'll do a couple of thrusts, and if you continue to press R2, you'll follow up with even more thrusts. So, is this good enough to beat the game on its own? Let's find out! The Asylum is pretty basic. I can't yet use the Rapier, so I just use the Thief's Knife, and do all the usual stuff like grabbing the Estus Shard, killing Pudgy, and leaving the Asylum. In Firelink, I give myself the required souls to get the minimum stats of 8 strength and 20 dex. The Berg is pretty standard. Run to the first bonfire here, grab the gold pine resin, get flattened, and fight the Taurus demon. I prefer fighting him on the tower itself and not the small bridge after plunging. Gold pine resin just cuts through him like butter. The Drake wastes our time, and the Parish is a really quick run through. The Gargs, the easiest boss in the game, I'm still kind of ass at. Don't ask me how, just gold pine resin still shreds, but so anyways, gold pine resin okay. It's fine. So the damage against Gargs with just the Rapier is pretty ass. Less than 100 damage, and lowest at 34. So, yeah, it's doable, but not preferred, so I'm going to just go and grab a little boost to help out. Heading down the elevator, back to Firelink, we can go through the Berg, but instead of going across the bridge, we can head through the door into the lower Berg. Here we can free Alright, Master Key doesn't open the door to Griggs, so let's just, go back up there, kill you, back down, free Griggs. Back in Firelink, he will sell us magic weapon, but there's a problem. Your girl's broke, and how the hell do we get souls in this economy? If we can't get through one of the easiest bosses, well, we rob the dead, that's what we do. With the dead robbed and countless sins on my back I won't be confessing to, we can visit Griggs and buy ourselves a magic weapon. It's not as good as the gold pine resin, but it'll do for now. As one last little boost, I get the Rapier to a +1 before taking on the Gargs again. Here, the best strat is to strafe around them and never lock on. This will keep you on your toes so you can keep dodging attacks from both of them. I still somehow struggle so bad, like I've done harder runs, but whatever, they eventually go down. With one bell rung, we can head down into the slimy, leech-infested waters of Blighttown, where all the enemies have their own crypto coin rug pull scam, and they used all those same really shitty animations where they are living the crypto life and how rich they are, just trying to get you to buy into their shitty coin that they'll just rug pull from you once they make a little bit of money. Being the people's hero I am, I head into the domain of the worst crypto scammer of them all, Crypto Witch Quaylock. She's one of the bosses I have memorized like the back of my hand. She gave me so much trouble when I first played, but now she's probably the easiest boss for me. This fight takes a while, but by staying next to the spider's head, we can slowly, and I mean slowly, take her down. After skillfully taking on the rug pull scammer, we move on to the next step of the plan, getting our next upgrade. Climbing out of Blighttown, I forgot to deal with that slimy rat Lautrec, so Firelink's out of commission for a bit. We take up our new hub at the Undead Parish and head into Sins. Here there's a few large Titanite shards we can grab, 2 by the chest by the arrow trap, and ascending the roofs we can grab the bonfire and backtrack slightly, and fall off and die, and oh, I didn't rest. Let me just do all of it again real quick. You can grab another 2 by the Snake Warrior, and then another 2 on the path towards the Iron Golem. I pick up the cage key for shortcuts back to Andre later, and head towards the Golem. First attempt doesn't go smoothly, I miss getting the fall and then fell myself, or well, thrown. We play Grab Simulator on attempt 2, and third try we finally position him right and get him to fall down. We level up a bit more, getting a tad out of endurance as well as more faith. Before heading into Anor Londo, I wanted to get the large ember for a plus 10. To get said ember, I must head down into the depths, and to get there, we must go through the lower berg. Great. I abused the fire pile and let all the enemies in the area burn on top of it. We're strong enough to deal with the dogs in Capra's arena, and the Capra fight was rough, took longer than I was used to, but still a first try victory. Down the depths, I grabbed the large ember and took the slide down to the bottom of the depths. I try my hand at the gaping dragon, but no Estus and one magic weapon. I call it and go rest at the bonfire. I wanted to try again, but I wasn't feeling it, so I quit out and left the depths, and that was the last time the gaping dragon was ever seen. Aurora once again forgot the gaping dragon existed. Maybe instead, you should have been a better boss, and Aurora wouldn't have forgotten you exist. Shame on you, gaping dragon. I head back to Sins for hopefully the final time, and buy the last 3 large shards needed for a plus 10. With the plus 10 weapon, we are ready to go into Anor Londo. So, I head into Sins for the last goddamn time, and ascend into Anor Londo. I'm forced to deal with the normal Rapier shenanigans, but the main thing I wanted was to cut down the chandelier for the next upgrade in our damage. Great magic weapon. Now, we won't be using it for long, there's still another upgrade we're going to grab right now. We go ahead and take on Gwendolyn, and if you know how to dodge his attacks, it's just a running sin, especially if you only get 1 or 2 thrusts in. This fight takes forever. But with Gwendolyn dead, we pick up the Sunlight Blade. And ooh, let me tell ya, this is a great upgrade right here. The archers aren't an issue, I just launch myself off a cliff because I'm stupid. I go into Anor Londo and I wanted to grab a Titanite chunk, but I forgot that this here is Demon Titanite, and I pay for that mistake in my fleeting memory. Great run so far, real great run. Ornstein and Smough was going to be a issue. I knew this. The Rapier has a long attack animation, and to get good damage, you need to do more inputs. For ONS, you have to be constantly on your toes. Usually I fight Ornstein first, but the problem with this is that Ornstein moves around way too much. Smough is pretty easy to take down in Phase 1, but for that we need to deal with Ornstein in Phase 2, which I've fought him less than 5 times most likely. So we're once again back to getting stronger. We need levels to get my faith to 30, and more attunement, but we also need to get working on our plus 15. So, while leaving Anor Londo, I challenged Lautrec to get Firelink back up and running, which was much harder than I had thought it would be, and for the Fat Brain. I pick up another chunk by the Giant Blacksmith, and while leaving Sins, I grab another chunk from the Gate Giant. To get the very large ember and a few chunks, we head down to New Londo Ruins, make it past the ghost room on my very first try, and then kill Ingward for the key. At the base of Drain New Londo, we can run through and grab the very large ember, as well as the couple chunk locations I can remember. Next, I wanted to clear a couple of easy bosses off my list for some soul gain to level up my faith and attunement for Sunlight Blade. First was Pinwheel, and we can quickly just jump down the catacombs past the bone wheels to end up at his front door. We turn Pinwheel into a pin cushion and get the Mask of the Child, which helps for stamina regen. Next, I went to the asylum for a couple reasons. First one was the Stray Demon and his slap, but also to get the doll to fight Priscilla later on. Stray isn't special, just run away when he attacks and then poke a couple holes in him. He'll bleed out soon enough. We get enough souls for Sunlight Blade and the slab for a plus 15. To get the last few chunks I need, I go kill the 2 Black Knights I skipped in the Burg and perish, showing Sunlight Blade's true strength off, and back at Andre we get our weapon to a plus 15. With our new damage boost from Sunlight Blade, I wanted to try focusing on Ornstein once more because of how fragile he is. The biggest issue was Ornstein moving around, but with a good few timed bursts with Sunlight Blade and using Great Magic Weapon once it runs out, after a few attempts we managed to take Ornstein down, and well, Smough was just... it's Smough, come on. Like normal, the second half of Dark Souls 1 becomes a running sim, since the last few areas don't have a lot for us. So, like I had to run through these areas, I'm going to have to kind of run through my script just because there's not a whole lot to talk about. After placing my Lord Vessel, I look at my options. I can fight a Virgin Loser, a tree, a cool-ass Bone Man, or the same boss copy and pasted 4 to 8 times. I choose to make the world a better place and head for the Duke's Archives. Go up the elevator, die to Seath, break out of prison, and do the stair puzzle. The crystal caves are boring because it's full of nothing. The only good thing about this area is watching Seath's health bar go from 100 to 0, showcasing once again the true power of Sunlight Blade with Ricard's Rapier. I got word of an even greater evil residing past the crypto rug pulling domain. The AI art generators. Blech. These scumbags lack any creativity. I also just realized I skipped me fighting Ceaseless, like many hours ago in this run, so yeah, I did it. It's Ceaseless. The first person is an artist who posts their art that's just a blatant copy of another person's style. They have thousands of posts and 10k followers. Right after is the bigger scumbag who uses AI art but claims they drew it themselves, doing it just for fame and not the passion of creativity. You're less than human. And finally, the true monster, the AI movie maker. Someone who genuinely thinks AI is better than human creativity and wants to see the film industry be constant AI slop. What a pitiful lack of creation on your part. Sif and the Four Kings were next, and more running. Sif just gets shredded by the power of the sun, and the Four Kings, well, all I gotta do is sit there. Before I finished the base game, I had 2 optional bosses left. The Painted World is quick and easy, just follow the main path till you get to the bridge and then fall off to get under the dragon. Funny thing about this weapon is it does no poise damage, at least I think it doesn't. So I pretty much had a raw dog Priscilla. Okay, I had to deal with Priscilla completely invisible, which was a pretty fun challenge, to be honest. Just look for the footprints in the snow and poke away. Here's a joke that the second half of the script is lacking. Moonlight Butterfly. All that's left before Gwyn is Big Bones, and yeah, not much to say. The skeletons are kind of annoying, but Nito does as much harm as he does good by killing his own skeletons, allowing for more pokey time. There was one last thing I wanted before Gwyn, and that was some Elizabeth mushrooms. So let me just, here we go. Okay, do this, do that. Okay, Gwyn time. This run was pretty fun. It was definitely harder at the start, and it snowballed pretty fast after getting just a few upgrades. I didn't want to do the DLC this time around, just because I didn't want to do it. But overall, I had fun with this challenge, and I actually had fun writing the script this time. So, that's what matters. I enjoyed making it. Anyway, I'm Aurora Berry. Ciao.